So I'd like to go ahead and introduce our speaker for today. Our speaker is one of our Florida Healthcare Plan's health coaches, Cindy Mayer, and you will see Cindy's extensive resume. There we go. There you are. There you are. You can see Cindy's got quite an education, and we are very excited to have her as part of our health coaching team. She has had a lot of experience with coaching, and she's very passionate about smoothies. Even if smoothies weren't your thing before, I bet smoothies are going to be your thing soon. So with no further ado, Cindy, I'm going to turn it over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Corey, for the introduction. Very kind of you. And good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Today is our superfood smoothie guidance for you to get started on learning about smoothies. I've always had a passion for nutrition, and smoothies are an excellent, very healthy food choice, and they're easy once you get the hang of it. I have members that I'm a health coach for, and they find that smoothies are a delicious addition to their lifestyle. They're colorful, they're fun, they're easy to prepare, and they report that they experience a lot more energy, weight loss, or weight maintenance. Members who I coach who have diabetes report a significant improvement in their blood sugar levels, and both become more physically active because they have more energy. So those are all good side benefits. Long before the chains like Smoothie King in 2003 or so, when it debuted, I've been making smoothies long before that, probably 2 or 3 decades. And so today I want to help you learn how to make affordable and healthy smoothies. So the first objective will be to talk about the health benefits, and then we will look into the equipment that you will need, and then the ingredients and the options. And lastly, you will have an opportunity to have to request resources. I have a video and links and some starter recipes that you can jump into after the presentation. I'll be going over a lot of information, but you will have that as a resource for you. So don't worry about remembering everything. So this slide here talks about the health benefits. Every time you eat is an opportunity to nourish your body. And smoothies are nutrient dense. They have macronutrients, the protein, complex carbohydrates full of fiber, the micronutrients, vitamins and minerals. They give you a feeling of satiety and fullness, so it helps with food cravings, and it decreases the snacking between meals. Fiber slows down the absorption of sugar, so you don't experience the spikes in blood sugar and then the crash. They help boost hormones that improve your mood and brain function. They're full of antioxidants that help prevent damage to cells. They improve digestion and reflux. And also they have anti-inflammatory properties that will be really helpful if you have asthma or arthritis or autoimmune disorders or allergies. And they also are great for children as well as adults, because it's almost like a great way to create and experiment with texture and color and shapes. So it can really help with children to build a nice, strong, healthy food choice for life. So we have smoothies have been known to have a bad reputation for high sugar. But with awareness about the ingredients, you can make your smoothies very healthy. So here are some tips. One is avoid the bottle store-bought smoothies you find in the refrigerated section. They have a lot of syrups and added sugars. Omit fruit juices as a base. I'll explain the liquids that are better choices, and use whole fruit that has fiber. That slows down the sugar process. Also include greens. Use unsweetened milk, or unsweetened nut milk is some of the bases for liquids that you'll be learning about soon. And also plain yogurt instead of flavored yogurt. And skip recipes that have honey, agave, or maple syrup. If you see any of those ingredients, you can still make the smoothie. You just leave those out. The next important part of making smoothies is equipment. If you don't have the right equipment, your smoothie's not going to be smooth and your ingredients are not going to incorporate and they won't taste as good. So the first thing that you can look into is entry-level blenders. Those are made specifically for smoothies. They're about 800 to 1,000 watts. They're priced around $70 to $100. And some of the popular names are Ninja, NutriBullet. If you want to use an even more affordable blender, that's usually $40 or $50, just look for one with a smoothie function. But I will warn you that if you use these less powerful blenders, you'll need to probably use a coffee grinder to grind the nuts and the seeds before you put them into the blender. And if you have fresh turmeric or ginger, you'll want to grate it. So we have the grater that you might have in your kitchen drawer. So those are some equipment that you'll need. Also, the really ideal way to make a smoothie is with the powerful blenders. They're 1,400 to 2,000 watts. They are priced a lot more, from 250 to more than 400. But they decimate and pulverize nuts and seeds and whole fruits and vegetables. Some of the more popular brands are like Blendtec or Vitamix, and there's a lot more than that. They are a great investment if you're going to be making smoothies as often as I do, which is every day. And a lot of people do have a smoothie for at least breakfast. Also, you can buy smoothie straws. They're usually colorful and they're wider. Kids love the smoothie straws. And another tip would be to get some plastic cups, some solo cups, so that you can just make the smoothie and pour it in and go out the door. Now, for the very first step for a smoothie is the liquid, and that's the first thing you'll be putting into your blender. There are so many choices. There's soy, coconut, cashew, almond, oat, hemp, flax, rice, milk. That's so many different kinds. And you really can't go wrong with any of them, except you need to be very, very careful to choose the unsweetened variety. And you'll see that underneath each of the types of milk. So look for unsweetened. It comes in both plain and vanilla unsweetened. So either one of those choices work. They're great for anyone who's lactose intolerant too. So that's another benefit. And they don't have the inflammatory properties that you would find in dairy. And they work wonderfully with both green smoothies and fruit smoothies, or a combination of the two. You can also add plain yogurt or kefir, which is spelled Kefir. These give you some probiotic action, and they make your smoothies more creamy and give it more flavor. Also, you can use coconut water. It's considered nature's Gatorade, loaded with electrolytes, hydrating, without the sugar, and really ideal for smoothies. They mix very well with greens as well. So the next step would be fruit. You want to think about eating the rainbow. You can put anything in a smoothie, from mango, bananas, berries, superfruits like black raspberries, grapes, citrus, pineapple, kiwi, cherries, papaya, apples. The sky is your limit. You can mix and match whatever you have in your house, or mix up fresh and frozen. It's really important to mix the fresh and frozen, because if you have some frozen, it will make it nice and cold. And that's the texture that we're always going for with a smoothie. We don't like warm smoothies. Well, another thing that you can do is, if you have fruit that's fresh and it's getting close to its expiration date, you can take it and cut it up and put it on a cookie sheet, put it in the freezer until it freezes, and then so it doesn't stick together. Then you put it in bags or in a glass container and freeze it. So you can start out with the cookie sheet and then transfer them into bags. There's also packets that you can purchase in the grocery stores. One is acai. Another is dragon fruit, also known as pitaya, and coconut. You can also get pomegranate seeds. These are all fantastic fruits. They make the smoothie very cold, and they give them an exotic flavor. And acai is grown in the rainforest. It's a berry with an aroma of dark chocolate and red wine. What's not to like about those flavors? They're rich in omega fatty acids. They're great for your heart. They have 10 times more antioxidants than blueberries and 30 times more antioxidants than red wine. There's also dragon fruit or pitaya, which is the same. That's an exquisite fruit, cactus from South America, and it has a sort of a mild watermelon flavor, and it has lots and lots of seeds in it, like a kiwi. So you can use these packets, just snip the top and slide them into the blender, and it will make them cold and delicious. The next ingredient would be greens, and I encourage you to put greens in every smoothie that you make. You can always add a handful of greens, and they will be undetectable. You can also make green and vegetable smoothies with just a little bit of fruit. So leafy greens like kale, spinach, collard, chard are all wonderful in a fruit smoothie. You could also add half of an avocado, which is not technically a fruit, but it's green, and it makes the smoothie very, very creamy, and also makes you feel full from the healthy fats. You can use cauliflower, carrots to make vegetable smoothies. Beets are wonderful. They give a great color. They are a superfood. If you have a powerful blender, you can go ahead and put the beet in raw. If you have the less powerful blenders, you'll need to cook them. Also, celery is frozen, whether it's frozen or fresh, is wonderful in a smoothie. And cucumbers are hydrating and refreshing. Now for nuts. This is the one ingredient that a lot of recipes forget. So if you're searching for recipes, look for them specifically with nuts, or put that in your search. Nuts you don't want to be without, because they are a great source of protein and, again, healthy fats. So specifically, when we talk about nuts for smoothies, we're talking about raw nuts, not the salted ones in the can. Often you get them in the grocery store in the bulk section by the produce, or at any of the health food stores is where you can get raw nuts the easiest. Preferably organic if you can. You can just use a handful, about 1 ounce. And the nuts that are great in smoothies are cashews, walnuts, almonds, and pecans. I encourage you to store them in a glass container in the refrigerator to keep them fresh and prevent them from getting rancid. But the great thing about nuts is you can get a big bang for the protein. So almonds have 6 grams of protein, cashews 5, walnuts 4, and pecans 3. Again, there's the healthy fats, which will help lower the bad LDL cholesterol and increase your good HDL cholesterol. And one study found that there's compounds in cashews that improve your glucose uptake, and it benefits diabetes prevention and management. The next slide, we will talk about nut butters. So nut butters are another way to add the protein and the healthy fats to your smoothie, but only use about a half a tablespoon to a tablespoon, because that way you get the benefits without too many calories. They are, again, loaded with heart healthy monounsaturated fats. They make you feel fuller. But pay attention to the labels and choose the ones that are unsweetened. Or you can make nut butters yourself in the blender or food processor. Cashew tends to be the creamiest. Almond butter is a very popular choice for flavor. And then an alternative for those who are allergic to nuts are sunflower seed butters. They're a great source of protein and fats and magnesium. So remember sunflower seed butter if you can't tolerate nut butters. And peanut butter has the most bang for its buck. It's about 8 grams of protein, and at this time, the most affordable. The next way to get lots of protein and healthy fats again and energy are seeds. These tiny little seeds have so much power. They first emulsify and add thickness to the smoothie. They have fiber, they're complete proteins, they have antioxidants and vitamins and minerals. Don't skip the seeds, and they will definitely make you feel fuller longer. One seed that's up here, the black ones on the top in her hand are chia seeds. Chia seeds is in the mint family. They look like poppy seeds. They've even been studied by Harvard Chan School of Public Health. 1 tablespoon is enough energy for an entire day. They have omega-3 fatty acids and iron and 6 grams of protein. And in the Mayan civilization, chia means strength. And flax seeds are the next ones that are very popular for smoothies. They have 2 times the amount of omega-3 fats than 4 ounces of salmon. So just 1 ounce of seeds is equal to 4 ounces of salmon for those healthy fats. Hemp hearts are also seeds, and they have 7 grams of protein per ounce, a little less fiber than flax or chia, but they're ideal for green smoothies. They have a little bit of a grassy flavor. And if you can't decide, you can do what I do. I just get a little container that has a flip top, and I mix the seeds, and then I don't have to miss out on any of the nutrients. You can also experiment with sunflower seeds, which are great with vitamin E. Pumpkin seeds are known for zinc. In fact, a 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds have 10 grams of protein. That's equal to a 1/2 cup of black beans. And sesame seeds are they stick to cholesterol like flypaper. These seeds are also loaded with iron, equal to a cup of spinach. So when you use seeds, it's important, if you don't have that high-speed blender, to use a coffee grinder to blend them. You also need to definitely grind the flax seeds in order to absorb the nutrients. The next fun part of smoothies are add-ins. There's so many things you could add to add flavor and nutrients. One is unsweetened coconut with pineapple. That's like a little bit of like a pina colada. Cacao nibs come from the cacao beans, the same bean that chocolate comes from. It's nature's chocolate chips. It's slightly bitter, but it's full of antioxidants and flavonoids for your heart. It releases dopamine and serotonin, which are those happy, feel-good hormones. They're great for your cholesterol. So I really encourage you to use cacao nibs in some of your smoothies. And I especially like those maybe at night when I'm having like a little dessert kind of a smoothie. It brings out that chocolate flavor. Goji berries are a dried fruit. You can add those as well. Those are right there in the middle. They have melatonin, so they help you sleep better. They are very, very high in antioxidants. And when eaten, they shuttle to our retinas and have been in studies appear to protect against macular degeneration, which is a leading cause of vision loss. So gojis are great for your eyes. Also, ginger and turmeric. If you get fresh ginger and turmeric, it gives a smoothie a great kick in flavor. It's also great for digestion, anti-inflammatory properties, great for insulin if you happen to have diabetes or prediabetes. And they're wonderful for digestion, really known for helping with IBS and ulcers. Also, extracts like almond, peppermint, coconut, and vanilla. Spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and cloves. And also oats. Oats are a great one for breakfast. You can add some of those. Steel cut are the least processed. So steel cut oats would be a good choice. They have soluble fiber and they're filling, and they slowly rise the blood sugar. Another way to make your smoothie a little chocolatey would be adding unsweetened cocoa powder. If you want to add a little sweetness, you can get pitted dates and throw a couple of those in. Also, avocado makes them very creamy if you want to add about a half of avocado. Now, I don't talk much about protein powders because between the liquid that has protein, the seeds, and the nuts, you really do end up having protein powder naturally by using all those ingredients in your smoothie. But if you're working out and want a pre and post-workout smoothie, look for protein powders that are whey protein and that are have the fewest ingredients and the least sugar. But like I said, you don't need that unless you don't add the nuts and the seeds. Now, here's some tricks for better smoothies. One is to make them nice and cold and delicious. Smoothie packets like the dragon fruit, the acai, and the coconut, and pomegranate seeds. Those are all fruits that you can keep in your freezer, and they're there conveniently for you. Use frozen fruit to avoid watering down smoothies with ice. Some smoothie recipes recommend ice, but it's better off to use the frozen fruit. You're getting the nutrients, and it won't melt down like ice will. Freeze your own fresh fruit, as I said, on those cookie sheets, and then transfer them into bags or into containers. Always add the liquid first. Otherwise, the blender will not work. It'll freeze up on you. And if your blender does freeze up, just keep adding liquid until it releases. You can get a spatula too, and just sort of loosen the ingredients if they stick to the sides, if you have a less powerful blender. You can also pre-package your ingredients in the freezer. So if you find a smoothie that you love, then you can go ahead and just put them in bags and sort of meal prep. You can put the banana and the cherries and the maybe raspberries in a bag. It's different bags. And then instead of having to pull them from different bags when you're about to make the smoothie, you just take out that bag. It's all prepped with all the frozen fruit that you want and pour it into the blender. Makes it fast and easy. And also, if you prep larger smoothies for a day or so, you can keep those safely in the refrigerator in a glass container, a tightly fitting lid. I use my BlendTech container that I blended in, and it has a nice tight fitting lid. So you can just make extra and use it later on in the day or for the next morning. And again, you can store them for 1 to 2 days. So here's your starter grocery list. In order to make a smoothie, you need to have those things on hand, or else you're not going to be as motivated. So have everything that you need. To start out, go to the grocery store and get frozen fruit. Pick your favorite bags, whether it's cherry, pineapple, mango. Go ahead and get those bags of fruit. Also, get a bag of avocados because they're always great in all your smoothies. Get some fresh fruit. Bananas are the ones that usually last the longest. But if you get fresh fruit and you haven't used it, then go ahead and throw that in the freezer, and then you can use it at a later date. Get your favorite non-dairy milk that I had on the list. Almond milk is probably one of the most popular. Get your packets, the fruit packets, the acai, dragon fruit, coconut, or the pomegranate seeds, and get those in the freezer. Get a bag of your favorite nuts if you're not allergic to nuts, and a jar of your favorite nut butter. Then get some chia seeds or a mixture of seeds that you decide you want to use, and put those in a plastic container, and they're best stored in the refrigerator as well. You can also get some add-ins like the unsweetened coconut, the cacao nibs, the goji berries, cocoa powder, and most of the time we have the spices and the extracts already in our cabinets. And then you would take all of those frozen fruits and greens and add-ins and nuts and store them in the refrigerator so that you can reach for this. As soon as you get a recipe, then you can just reach for those ingredients. So you can also pay attention to farmers markets. They have so much fresh fruit and they're more affordable. So that would be a good resource. Look for your local farmer markets. There are some in every town in Volusia County and other counties. Usually they're on Saturday mornings. Also the bulk sections where you scoop those nuts and seeds in grocery stores or in health food stores are another great place for you to get stocked up. So those are the ways that we can make a smoothie. And I encourage you afterward to request the videos, and it'll make you very hungry, and the starter recipes. And from there, when you do a search on the computer for smoothies, just type in your favorite nuts, seeds, fruits, and it will pull up a recipe with most of those ingredients. or just experiment. You really can't go wrong. Sometimes I just make smoothies out of whatever I have in my house. So that works out. So at this time, I want to thank you for joining us today. And I hope that you enjoy the world of smoothies and all the recipes that are out there that you can obtain from searches. Always remember, let thy food be thy medicine and your medicine be thy food. Good luck with the drawings. And at this time, I'll take some questions.
Thanks, Cindy. So if you all have some questions, and I see one popping in, feel free to put them in the chat. If somebody is a diabetic, Cindy, how many meals I lost the message. How many meals would be acceptable in a day? How many smoothie meals for a diabetic would you say would be acceptable?
Well, usually for someone with diabetes, it would be it was a mixture, 2 if you had made one that was green, and then with green smoothies, you do a 60-40 rule. So you have 60% green and 40% fruit. That would be less carbohydrates. So if you did one that was a green smoothie and then another one that was a fruit smoothie, then that would be acceptable. And you probably just wouldn't want to have 3 a day. You would get tired of them. But you can also search for diabetes/smoothies, and you'll find all kinds of recipes that have that cut out any of the added sugars and have what we call low glycemic index fruits. Those are the ones that move slower through our bloodstream. So you can actually get a list, this glycemic index list for fruits, and look at it, and you can just choose the ones that have the lower glycemic index for your smoothies, and that would help with excursions in your blood sugar. So bananas, for instance, are a higher glycemic index, but berries are lower. But if you get that list, then you can try to stick with those low glycemic index fruits, and that should help.
Great.
And plus it has fiber, so that's going to slow everything down too. As far as your blood sugar spikes, it's a much slower process.
Cindy, somebody wants to know what the benefits of the flaxseed are one more time that you had mentioned.
The flax seeds have healthy fats, and they have omega-3, 6, and 9, just like salmon does. They also have, some protein and antioxidants, as all the other seeds do, and vitamins and minerals. So flax seeds are a good choice. They also are known to balance hormones, especially female hormones. So that can be another benefit for flax seeds. But I do take chia seeds and flax seeds and mix them, and that's what I put in my smoothies. About a tablespoon of the combination together.
And thank you so much, everybody, for participating. I'm not seeing any more questions in the chat. So once again, Cindy, that was an awesome presentation. You're getting lots of thank you very muches in the chat. I don't know if you've opened up your chat. So everybody seemed to enjoy it. But thank you all for being here. We'll be repeating this at 4:00 this afternoon. And next month, our webinar will be on excitotoxins. So you want to be sure and join us for that, because that is very interesting. It'll be in August. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everybody.